everyone, welcome to our children's story. So I've got a question for both the children and the adults. So where do you turn to for news to get your local or national news? Well, I know some people turn to the newspaper, magazines, or television, or radio, or some people actually turn to their phone, like I. Like I check my phone for the weather news, or I could check my phone for the local news by going to a local news app, CTV, or I could check my phone for the national news by going to a national news app, CBC. Well, for the more significant question today, where do you turn to for news from heaven? Now that is a trick question. Our Bible story today gives us a clue about where to turn to for news from heaven. And here is a clue. Yes, angels. That we have this image of angels as beings, as heavenly beings, all dressed in white. But there's more to angels than their appearance, than what we see as their appearance. For example, the word angel actually means messenger. So angels are messengers from God. They bring news to us about things that God wants us to know. Like, for example, we know the story of Mary, whom the angel appeared to and told her that she was going to have the baby Jesus. And we also know the story of the angels appearing to the shepherds on the field, giving them the news from heaven that Jesus was born. So angels are messengers. And in our story today, we would see the significant role that angels play when it comes to getting news from heaven. All right, so our story is about Jacob. Now, if you don't know who Jacob was the grandson of Abraham. Now, Jacob had a twin brother, Esau, and Jacob and his twin brother had a fight. Jacob stole from his brother. He lied to his father. So Jacob knew he had to leave home for a long while. Jacob was scared and had to leave home and go stay with his uncle until his brother and his father forgives him. Now, Jacob had to travel through a lonely wilderness all by himself to get to his uncle's house. Jacob was really scared. He was scared that he could be attacked by animals or by robbers because he was all by himself. For the first time, he was all by himself away from his family. And that night, Jacob was especially scared. And so God knew that Jacob needed to hear comforting news. So that night, as Jacob slept, he had a dream, but it wasn't just an ordinary dream. The dream was a message from heaven. Now, Jacob dreamt that he saw a stairway or a ladder that connected earth and heaven. Now, earth and heaven, and there was a stairway in between, and Jacob saw angels traveling to and fro the ladder from earth to heaven, heaven to earth, earth to heaven, heaven to earth. And at the top of the ladder was God in heaven. And God said to Jacob, "Do not be afraid. I am with you all the time. I will never leave you." God also promised Jacob so many other exciting things. Most especially, God promised Jacob that one of his descendants was going to be the Messiah, Jesus. So Jacob woke up and he was comforted because he knew then that God was with him all the time, that God's angels were all around him. Angels from heaven were also coming down on earth to protect all of God's people. So Jacob knew not to be afraid anymore. And he was so thankful to God. Now, so many years later, when Jesus was born and had begun his ministry here on earth, Jesus said something really important to his disciple. Jesus told his disciple that he, Jesus, was that stairway that connects heaven and earth. Jesus was the stairway through which the angels can communicate between heaven and earth. So Jesus is our link to heaven. Through Jesus, we know the good news about what God wants us to know. Whenever we are in difficult circumstances or difficult situations, we can look to Jesus for directions. And Jesus sent his angels all the time to comfort us and to give us good tidings. Isn't that exciting? For me, the most exciting part of all of this is that there are angels all around. Even though we can't see them, we know that through Jesus, we have a solid link to heaven, and his angels are all around us. So thanks for listening, guys, and have yourself a great week, and God bless you.